What is going on, all you Boruto fans? I'm Predictable60 here, bringing you guys the next review on episode 13, and we finally have it here. We finally have the culprit who has been behind the scene this whole time with these ghost incidents, and we finally got an explanation as to what has been going on this whole time. We now have none other than Sumire, the class rep. Yes, I said Sumire, the one that we all thought was this innocent, sweet little girl who just didn't have a family, and we now know why. Her dad used to be from the Foundation, and he ended up getting himself killed. I think he was a sacrifice or something, or he might have died trying to do research or something like that. And he told Sumire that he needed her to carry on his revenge. You know, he was pissed because he wanted to utilize this being, this thing called that they called Nu. They wanted to use this being to destroy the Leaf Village yet again. Of course, that's always a thing in Boruto, Naruto, whatever you want to go by these days, but it's always somebody wanting to destroy the Leaf Village out of revenge or something. It's always something like that. So of course we got to witness that Sumire was actually the subject that was the culprit behind this whole incident. She had this symbol. We finally realized what that symbol was. It was a symbol on the back of Sumire's back that was actually placed on her by her father, and he put that on her so that she can store up chakra, so that she can that was basically, the symbol was basically a gateway for Nu to emerge whenever the time was right. And she needed a bunch of chakra to store up, to summon him, to get him charged up, basically, to get summoned. And it was pretty interesting to get to see that in this episode. We actually got to see Mitsuki actually get orders, and I'm pretty sure it's from Orochimaru. And at this point, I'm pretty certain that it's Orochimaru giving him these orders. He was ordered to kill the class rep, and Boruto was not going to allow it. So Mitsuki went ahead and asked Boruto, well, we got two choices. We either subdue this being by just killing class rep, because you do understand your family, the village is at stake, or we could just kill one person and save the whole village. So what would you do in this situation? Boruto, of course, said, are you stupid? I wouldn't even hesitate to answer that question, so I can save both sides. Of course, that's what he goes into action to do. Pretty interestingly enough, he is able to utilize his eye to locate where Sumire was, and I really think it's very interesting because we have yet to see Boruto's eye play this much of an effect in this episode. I'm not really too sure if it was some type of lightning style that emerged from his eye. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with his actual ability to use lightning style, but it was a factor in this episode. I'm not exactly sure what that eye is supposed to do, if it's supposed to give him some type of extra ability. I'm not certain. And I do remember someone had made a comment on one of my other reviews that I need to read the manga or something like that. And they said, you don't know what you're talking about, you need to read the manga, you need to, you know. And I've already said many times before, and I feel like I have to say it again for those of you who don't know, who might be new to the channel. I understand that. You might not understand, you might not have went back far enough to know that I've already said I don't read the manga because I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to know what happens next in Boruto. I want all this to be fresh, as if I was watching Naruto for the first time, and everything on Naruto was fresh to me. I never read manga or anything. Everything I saw was like brand new, and I want it to be the same way whenever I read or watch this show on this laptop. Of course, I just enjoy watching better than I enjoy reading, so it just makes it more exciting for me. It gives you something to look forward to, in my opinion. And it's just like with the book, you can just continue reading. If you really want to know what's going to happen, you can just continue flipping the page. Hell, you can even skip ahead and figure out what's going to happen. It's just like, I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be the person that sits here and watches it with everybody else. Really, it's just like, I'm just not the type of person to want to sit down and read, you know, especially if read about a show that I'm watching. I don't, that's just not me. But of course, back to the show, we actually got to see Kakashi show himself for the first time since Boruto started. And of course, it's always good to see Kakashi Sensei show up, and I was really glad to see him. And it was really one of those moments where I was like, wow, we can see a familiar face for once, you know, someone who can actually do something. And he actually has a new ability called Purple Lightning. I don't really know what the background story is on that, where that came from, how he was able to do that, but it was pretty badass. Of course, we all know Kakashi is like a badass character in general. One of my favorite characters, actually, and I just really look up to Kakashi. He's really a really good teacher. You know, he came from a dark background too, but he really proved himself in this episode, and it was really good. But we all know Kakashi can always prove himself. He's always one to hold his own. He's always one to, you know, be very useful in a fight. And of course, he really showed his skill again in this episode. And even Sai was actually a really good benefit in this episode. We got to see he knocked out the class rep like it was nothing. Like, he was already prepared to just chop her real quick in the neck, and she was out. But that didn't stop her from summoning Nu. All she had to say was his name, and sure enough, like I had mentioned in my last couple of videos, this thing is like a monkey dog looking thing. It's like a monkey tiger looking thing, more so. It's not really a dog, but it's more so like a monkey tiger looking thing. And I just couldn't help but feel like they were trying to like replicate the Nine Tails when he was summoned into the village and trying to destroy it and everything. And I'm just like, this is so much like how it was whenever Nine Tails was summoned and they tried to use him to destroy the Leaf Village and all this. I mean, because if you think about it, the setup was the exact same. You got a masked person. Of course, the masked person didn't fight his teacher or anything, but it's just like the masked person was Sumire, we know, and they summoned this beast. Of course, it was trying to replicate some type of Nine Tails. We'll just use that as just what we're gonna call it for now, because it had one tail. Of course, I mean, it might as well have been Shukaku in the village, you know. It's just like, really. And even Naruto finally showed himself in the village looking for a fight, and he was of course about to use Nine Tails chakra to settle it in one move, of course. But of course, you got Kakashi Sensei being the wise one saying, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because this thing ciphers off chakra, and if you do that, you're going to give it exactly what it needs to, you know, do whatever it's going to do here. So it's better if you just stay back and just kind of help the barrier team. Of course, Naruto just felt kind of useless and was like, I really don't want to do that, because this is my village. I'm the Hokage now. This is my time to, you know, protect it. And of course, the best option for him was to sit out. And, you know, before anything could really happen, the Nu was what we'll call it, the N-U-E. It's not like N-W-E or N-E-W. I cannot spell. But it's not like that kind of Nu. But of course, Nu is the name of the monster, of course. But he was teleported because Mitsuki, Boruto, and the class rep were about to get into a scuffle. Of course, Mitsuki and Sumire was about to be the ones actually fighting, but Boruto was there to break it up and say, hey, y'all need to stop. Y'all are both like carrying on these orders and getting revenge. It's like, come on, what is going on with you two? It's like, this isn't what we need right now. Like, I'm not about to sit here and watch my classmates kill each other. We're in the same class. Are y'all retarded? And you know, when Boruto did step in to stop it, that's when his eye got activated, and that's when we see this electric or lightning style being activated. I don't know what that is about. I don't know how that's even happening, because like I said, I've seen on the game before where Boruto used water style too, so I'm kind of confused on what his abilities are. I'm not sure if he picked up any of Naruto's set of skills as far as with the wind style, or, you know, having that effect on him, but I just don't know. I mean, we'll finally figure out, hopefully, what Boruto's abilities are, because all we've seen him do, honestly, is just shadow clone jutsu, and of course that's like, okay, we get it, he can make more of himself. What else can he do? And that's honestly why I can't wait for them to hurry up and get to where he's using Rasengan. And, you know, of course it's not the best Rasengan he can actually do, but I can't wait to see Naruto start teaching him about that. But you guys have any comments or questions, you know where to leave them down below in the comment section. I do want to hear what you guys think about this episode, so go ahead and leave that down there for me so I can actually communicate with you all. And of course, if you are Boruto fans, go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell symbol so you get notified about all the latest Boruto videos I will be doing. Reviews, you know, predictions, anything like that. Of course, gameplay whenever more newer games come out for this whole thing. I will be doing stuff with that. And if you guys would like the video because you enjoyed this one, go ahead and do so. And of course, on that note, this has been your broadcast. Unpredictable is out.